Good morning. It's the Egg with John Spade on this Sunday, and it's just afternoon, 12:10 by my time anyway, so I'm a little late getting it going today, but it's Sunday, and I got out of bed a little later than normal and sauntered around, and of course you get on to the internet and start checking your Facebook messages and your Twitter and then your emails, and before you know it, half the day's gone. So yesterday was interesting because I put out this vlog that was 100% me. I was pretty fired up, and for those of you tuned in, I thank you. Strangely, and I don't know how this happens, I had a really good turnout for people that clicked on the video for yesterday's episode, and I'm kind of at a loss to explain exactly why the numbers went up as much as they did. But Gary Vaynerchuk, I love dropping his name. The guy is so awesome. And the book that he wrote, Crush It, if you haven't picked it up yet, you can borrow my copy. If you know me and you live in Calgary, I'll lend it to you. But really go out and buy it. It's a good thing to have in your collection, especially for those of you who are on the cutting edge and maybe have a business or an idea that you want to promote out there over the internet. It's a great way to sort of get your bearings on which way to move. Something Gary did mention in his book is don't pay too much attention to the counts. As much as it's supposed to be in real time, there's fluctuations depending on where you log in, what device you use to log on to the internet. The numbers are going to be different, and they really are. And in fact, when you log onto your Facebook, depending on how you get in there, if you're using Explorer, Opera, Firefox, you're going in on your cell phone device, your friend count goes up and down wildly, like from day to day. And there's a big swing. So I'm not sure exactly what causes that. Anyways, don't want to get too distracted here because with me, ADD kicks in and I've got lots of things swimming around in my mind. I want to stay focused on what I'm really here to talk about today. Okay, the first one. The doc brought this up to me. He was listening to Alicia Keys today. Got to thinking about my video log from a couple of days ago when I brought up the N-word and the proliferation of this word in urban music. And he had never noticed it before, and I guess that's what happens. You know, you can plant things in people's minds. And he noticed her dropping the bomb. It is so prevalent in urban music, and I'm at a loss to say why. I haven't seen any good interviews from any of the urban artists out there that are using it. Is it for shock value? Is it a social statement? What is the end result when you hear it, you're bombarded, especially kids nowadays who have no reference, no point of reference when it comes to racism, bigotry, what happened in the early part of the century. You know, I was born in the 60s, so I have a small taste of what went on back then. Even in high school, I saw firsthand racism, you know, and its ugliness. And so we jump forward, it's 2010. Does it help that black artists are dropping the N-bomb in all their music? I think there's an older generation that probably doesn't get it. They're probably wondering why it's there. And is the end result that the word is just going to be a word one day? It's going to be so diluted that it won't mean anything. And will that be evolution? Time will tell. Right now it's hard to say. I can't say that I'm offended when I hear the word because I'm not. It is just a word. And it is part of our new culture. So does that give me license to use the word? Absolutely not. You won't ever hear me using the word because I do remember, and I do know that it's a sensitive issue for a lot of people, and sometimes, you know, the wounds run really deep. Moving on. Have you been making donations to your favorite charity to get funds to Haiti, or maybe now Pakistan? I sincerely ask you to question your motives when you're making out a check, you're sending that money. Here's the problem I have. We have a lot of people in our own backyard, children especially, who are living below the poverty line, who are living in abusive situations. We're not really reaching out to them. We have a tendency to follow what the media tells us to follow, or to follow what a celebrity tells us to follow. And our heartstrings sometimes, you know, the intention is good. Maybe the focus isn't where it needs to be. And I'm not saying that Haiti doesn't need help, or that Pakistan, or that all these other countries that, you know, where they're going through tough times don't need help in some way. My big issue is that 80 to 90% of the money that you are sending to help these countries isn't getting there. It's the reality. There are fat cats who have designations after their name because they went to university for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever, who are sitting in their summer homes, relaxing on the deck, having a beer and a steak, knowing that, sure, there's people out there suffering. It ain't them. Because they're making 6 figures sitting on a board for any one of A, B, C, D charitable organizations that help out where they can. Why is the pie so small? That's what I want to know. Why is all the money that was promised to Haiti after the earthquake, why is it still sitting in trusts? Why is it not getting there? Why is it not helping that country? And before I go, one last thing on Wycleff and Haiti. I haven't really touched on it before, but Wycleff, I'm sorry, buddy. You're an entertainer. Apparently, you owe the American government a lot of money. And when you start following that trail, it looks really ugly. It's a little stinky, and I'm not sure what your motivation is if you think you're going to help. I can't see you going into a country that you haven't lived in since you were a kid and thinking because you have celebrity status, you're somehow going to make a difference running that country. Bullocks. Anyways, that's my bit. This coming week, I'm going to have a theme. I've decided that, yes, I'm going to get up on my soapbox. This is what the egg looks like it's going to turn into because I'm getting the best feedback on it. And I really want to talk about the food industry. It's a passionate thing for me. I love food. I'm a quasi-vegetarian. I'm a label reader. Apparently it's a disease. I go into the stores now. I pick something off the shelf. I've got to check out the ingredients. And I kind of have, I call it my 5-ingredient rule. Anything more than 5 ingredients, I'm going to question whether or not I make the purchase. So this week coming up, it's all about the food industry, the corruption. We're going to touch on Monsanto. We're going to touch on awesome documentaries like Food Inc. and the whole works. So I'm in about the 8-minute mark, and I think I've probably talked enough for today. It's Sunday, and I've got chores to do. So I'm going to say bye-bye. Have a great day.